I'm doing a video on, as you can see, fights to make after UFC 307. I originally, the reason this took so long is because I don't know a great format to where I can lay out all the fights. So I just decided to use Google Slides, as you see. And this is actually my second time shooting this video because the first time I did it, I made a mistake with the screen share and it didn't show everything. So, yeah, second time shooting this video, had to make some adjustments. So if you see some weird layouts, that's the reason, because it wouldn't fit unless I did it like this. So starting off, Ryan Spann had a really good win versus Ovince St. Preux, who I think obviously isn't the best. Obviously he's a little older, but he's the tricky person. He's actually a really tricky opponent on the ground. On the feet, he just gets hit by everything, as y'all saw. But Ryan Spann, the reason I'm choosing Johnny Walker for the fight is because Ryan Spann's not no, oh, I've never been in the rankings, I don't have a name. Ryan Spann's been in the rankings, he's fought Anthony Smith, he has a name, we know he's good, so I don't think we have to, take it slow. We have to take it slow, see how good he really is. This isn't one of those situations. This is a situation where we can put him against Johnny Walker, we know he'll perform, and we know it'll be a good fight. Honestly, I could see this as like a fight night co-main event, but I want to do a new thing where I have my reasons where, like on the screen so that you can see them instead of me just waffling on. The main reason I think that he should fight him is because their schedules line up a lot. Johnny Walker, he's been saying that he wants to fight. He got knocked out about 2 months ago, badly. He got flatlined twice. He got knocked out 2 months ago, but he's been saying he's looking for a fight. And Ryan Spann just came out of a fight, no damage at all. Their schedules kind of align because if Johnny Walker wants to fight in, like, let's say the next 2 to 3 months, Ryan Spann's right there. Like, he took no damage. And I'm sure he wants to keep the momentum going. He looked great. And it would just be a good fight for him. It'd be a good fight for him to get back to the rankings very fast. For Johnny Walker, he needs to defend his ranking. He just lost 2 times in a row. 2 knockout. In the first round, I think. I think in first round. Number 2, obviously, like I said, he took no damage. He took no damage at all. Even if Ovince hits you, it's not going to really do anything. It's really sluggish. I'm sorry, Ovince is just like a shell of himself. We already knew that. If he hits you, nothing's going to happen. And you saw that Ryan Spann literally just took so much, and he didn't take shit, actually. Like, nothing happened. Like, he just beat him. And like I said, my third reason, he's coming off 2 losses. Walker's coming off 2 losses, 2 knockout losses. Probably not the best idea to fight Ryan Spann, but his other idea was to go to heavyweight. So, it's just that whole management team. That's all like they're all bad ideas. They're just full of bad ideas. If you're gonna have a bad idea, you might as well fight Ryan Spann. He's already a name, and you're not gonna have to refight your way into the rankings like you would in heavyweight. In heavyweight, who are you gonna fight? You're not gonna fight anyone that's gonna give you the name value as Ryan Spann. It's that simple. So that's a good light heavyweight fight. I think we should make, and probably like a co-main to a fight night main event. Johnny Walker might get knocked out again. I'm very sorry to say that. But if Johnny Walker gets knocked out, it's like, who hasn't knocked him out? We got Ryan Spann back, you know what I'm saying? Ryan Spann looked good. This fight, it just should have been made a while ago. People were saying, as soon as MVP came into the UFC, people were saying, put him against Wonderboy. We want to see him fight Wonderboy. And I feel like there's a perfect timing right now. People wanted it after he beat Kevin Holland. People wanted it before he even beat Kevin Holland. But I think now is the perfect time where they're both in similar situations. They're not young. They're both old. And they're in a situation where they can't really keep up. MVP is good. Wonderboy is good. I don't see either of these guys beating the new Sean Brady, Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. I don't think Joaquin Buckley either. I don't think... Obviously, Wonderboy just got knocked out by Joaquin, but I don't think MVP really stacks up well against welterweight. So, I would say do this fight. Pure legacy. pure legacy. It's just a fun fight night main event. My reasons: pure striking. I hate crotch sniffers. And when I say crotch sniffers, I don't mean Dagestanis. I hate Malkachev, Ankalaev. No, I love those guys. They have real striking. They're real mixed martial artists. I love that. I mean people like Mario Batista, who we'll get to later. Trust me, we'll get to him later. Or people like Gelton Almeida. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Just the worst of the worst. The most boring of the most boring. 25-minute main event against Derek Lewis. I sat through that. I had to sit through that. That's the type of crotch sniffers I hate. This is just pure striking. I don't care who you are, what you're a fan of. You'll like this fight. People will like this fight. It's pure striking. It's a legend versus an icon. The legend being a Wonder Boy, the icon being MVP. Everybody knows MVP. He had that one video just blow up about him. Pure striking. People already won the fight. Number 2. And number 3, they're both coming off losses. They're in a similar situation, like I said, where they're both coming off losses, and we know that they're not going to really challenge for the belt. They're not going to really beat anyone who's up there. So why not just put them against each other? I think it'd be pretty close. I think it'd be like rank. I want to say Wonder Boy's 11, and I want to say MVP's number 10. So it'd be really close. Winner of that, maybe fight like Jack Della Maddalena if Shavkat gets the title shot. This could just be a really good rebound fight where I think both people will be willing to fight because it's just something that they're used to. It'd literally just be point karate. They fight in a point karate stance. MVP talks about it. He was brought up in that. Wonder Boy was also brought up in karate, but he did a little kickboxing too. It's just a really good base. It'd be really familiar for both these fighters, and I think they have a lot of fun. And I think everybody would enjoy it, so. Joaquin Buckley versus he called it Kamaru Usman. And I actually, at first I was like, no, like I want to do Ian Gary, Joaquin Buckley, but I was like, what the fuck has Kamaru Usman done? He's just sitting there at the top of welterweight doing nothing. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I like this fight. Buckley's on a win streak. He's on a 4 or 5 fight win streak at welterweight. And Buckley's weird because it's like, I know he's good. I pick him in a lot of fights. I pick him in almost every welterweight fight he's had. But how good is he? We see him struggle, or he doesn't have the most impressive wins, or he's just not looking good, and then out of nowhere he gets a knockout, or out of nowhere he just wins. He just wins. He's like Drickus. He doesn't look flashy, he doesn't look great, but he wins, and that's what matters. So I want to see how good is he really compared to the top welterweights. I still think Kamaru Usman is the top welterweight. I think he's the top fighter. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, as I put for reason number 2, which he didn't beat Chimaev. He drawed Chimaev. I'll give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Chimaev 10-8'd him in the first round. But he drawed against Chimaev. That's a very clear draw. And Usman has a free schedule. And what I mean by free schedule is when you're not fighting, you have nothing planned. Obviously, you're with your kids and you're with your wife and all that. That's not really a free schedule. But fight-wise, he has a free schedule. He can really come back whenever he wants. And he can really get almost any opponent he wants. So Kamaru, he already seemed interested. Like, if you looked at his Twitter, as soon as Joaquin Buckley called him out, he tweeted, he did the fucking eyes emoji, which is like, oh, let's just fight. It works. Joaquin Buckley didn't take too much damage besides the cut. Wonder Boy didn't really rock him. He didn't concuss him. He didn't really do anything to him. I want to see Joaquin Buckley, I think he'll come back in the next 4 or 5 months. I think Kamaru will gladly accept that fight because he's probably thinking, oh, it's an easy win. I fought Chimaev and I fought Leon Edwards twice. It's probably an easy win to him, and he can arguably he can be back in the title picture if he wins. If he wins this, he could fight Bilal. He could fight Jack Della Maddalena, and then he gets the title shot. He's right back in there if he wins this, in my opinion. I think they'll make this fight around March, I want to say. Yeah, I think around March they'll make this fight. March, February. And I think Usman really wants this fight. Joaquin really wants this fight. It's MMA, like that's what UFC's for. Let's do it, man. Like fuck it. Okay, so this guy I hate. I hate Shara. But he's the perfect opponent for Kevin Holland at the moment. Like Kevin Holland broke his rib. He's gonna need about 3 months off at least. So he's not gonna be as active. 3 months off at least. So I wanted to think. I was like, I could put him against other people, but I want to put him against someone who's about to fight or has just fought recently. Shara is gonna fight on October 26th. So he's gonna fight at 308 Ilya Max Holloway. If he wins, we could be looking at Kevin Holland here. Like, he needs to step up in competition. He really does. Shara hasn't had a step up yet. His hardest fight, in my opinion, was McCall, who was on a 3-fight losing streak, and then Kevin Holland beat him like right after. So, not really impressive. He needs to step up in competition. Kevin Holland, he's kind of in the range where he's a huge step up in competition, but he's just right at the rankings. Like, he's not high in the rankings. He's pretty low in the rankings. So you want an introduction? You want an introduction into the middleweight rankings? You fight Kevin Holland. It's two big names. People already know these guys. People know Shara, huge star before he came in. Kevin Holland, he's a self-made man, made himself in the UFC. He already has a name. People love Kevin Holland. People love Shara's striking, but not really him as a personal, like, as a guy. I don't like him as a guy, but his striking's alright. And I think Kevin Holland's a good test. Kevin Holland is a true mixed martial artist. He's good at striking. He can grapple. And we haven't really seen someone fight Shara like that. And when someone has fought Shara like that, he struggles. So this is a good, I want to say, a pretty big step up for Shara, but it's long overdue. Shara needs to step up. He's really been fighting cans. Besides McCall, I really like McCall. I think he's good, but let's go over the reasons again. I mean, he fights soon. Kevin Holland just fought. It's kind of perfect scheduling, win or lose. Shara wants to fight. You remember when Shara was like, he was like, oh, I'm doing a movie, but I'm going to fight, like, I have a fight schedule with Kevin Holland. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that. It was like going on for a week where Shara kept insisting that they were working on a fight with him and Kevin Holland. If he wants it, I think Kevin Holland will fight. I think he'll fight him too, really. In my opinion, Shara is not the hardest fight. He's a pretty easy win if you have grappling. Kevin Holland's probably thinking that too. Kevin Holland's a smart guy. The schedules line up. UFC don't seem opposed. I don't think they'll seem opposed to making this. They can put this on a main card of almost any card. I think they'll do it. Probably around March again. Roman Dolidze. I like Roman. I really like Roman. But I was just trying to think about how can I make a fun fight with this guy, because he's boring as fuck. I'm sorry, Roman. I don't love you. I don't love watching you fight. I was going to say that, and if you've seen Roman Dolidze and Maivov, you would understand why I took that back immediately. But I mean, he's earned it. He's earned a spot at the top of middleweight, and I think Jared Cannonier is an introduction of that. I would say, Jack Hermanson, someone like that. But I want to see Jared Cannonier. I want to see him, if he doesn't retire. I don't know if he will retire or not. But they have similar rankings, and he's coming off 2 losses. Cannonier's coming off 2 losses. Granted, I don't think it should have been stopped against Maivov. I think that was kind of a trash stoppage in general. But he's coming off a beating from Chao Barallo. A really easy beating. Horrible. And I want to see if he still has it. I think he wants to see if he still has it. And he's probably going to fight Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze is really a grappling guy, but his wrestling's not the best. I wouldn't doubt that we see a striking matchup between Cannonier and Roman. And if Roman does try to wrestle him, Cannonier can grapple a decent amount. So this could really just end up being two big guys for the middleweight division, just slugging it out. If Cannonier wins, which I'm sure he'll want this fight too because it's a guy who's on a 2-fight win streak. If he beats this, that's a pretty good win. I think Roman Dolidze would want this because it's a guy coming off a 2-fight losing streak, and he's somewhat high in the division, so he's kind of just waiting to fall off, I guess. Another reason, Roman Dolidze took no damage. Literally no damage. He dominated the first round as not a 10-8, but he dominated, and I think he would have done it for the rest of the fight. Cannonier just got his ass beat for 5 rounds. I put my belief in Cannonier, and he got his ass beat. Sadly, I love Cannonier. I think that was about I want to say a month ago. That was a month ago. Just look at him, man. I love Cannonier. But, yeah, shit happened. So, a month ago, he got the shit beat out of him. Roman Dolidze isn't really the guy to make quick turnarounds. I really don't think so. And I think even if he does want to make a quick turnaround, he'll sit out and wait for Cannonier to be ready. I'm pretty sure I've seen Cannonier on podcast already talking about how he felt like his training has been good. I think Cannonier will take this one last fight to see if he still has it. If he wins, he'll keep fighting. If he loses, he'll probably retire. And it'd be a good career. So, you know how Dustin Poirier fought Benoit Saint-Denis and he was like, I want to see if I still have it? I think Cannonier will do the exact same thing. And I think both of these guys, honestly, they'll be game for it. Because there's two things. Like, they both benefit from this fight. It's a fight night main event. Moving on to Aldo, the legend. So I tend to not watch like matchmaking videos before I make my video because I don't want to just take someone else's opinion and be like, oh, he's low-key right. I want to go with my exact opinion, who I think they should fight next, and I don't want to copy people. So, but I did see that some people think, oh, Aldo Dominic Cruz. I don't want to see Aldo Dominic Cruz. I really don't. There's nothing to gain for Aldo, in my opinion. I don't think he'll care. The only thing people are saying this for is because Dominic Cruz was a champion at the same time Aldo was, and it was a super fight that just never happened. But it doesn't make sense for it to happen now. Aldo's still a contender. He still looked good. Dominic Cruz has been knocked out by Chito Vera. He's had some weird decisions. He's a shell of himself. So is Aldo, but Aldo has aged a little less, I would say. And I think, honestly, you could really just put him against another contender. Like, it's Aldo. And the one contender I was thinking of is Chito Vera. Yeah, I don't think you should get a step up if you lost a fight. But it's Aldo. You disrespected him by putting him against Mario Batista. Let's make some things right. And let's put him against Chito Vera. I know that Dana White hates Mario Batista in that fight. So I think he'll be like, okay, who gives a fuck about that fight? That fight was literally nothing. Who gives a fuck? Let's give Aldo to Chito Vera. But I'm gonna cope. You can see my reasons. It's pretty copey. I'm just gonna try explaining this fight because I know some of y'all are probably like, no, fuck no, like doesn't make any sense. They're both on a loss streak, and he shouldn't get a step up if he's losing. My reasons: it's a fun boxing fight. Chito Vera can be a little patient, a little too patient. He's really slow, or he's actually fast. But he starts really slow. He could have beat Davison Figueiredo if he just threw a little more. But that's the problem. He doesn't throw anything until he needs a finish, and even then, it's 50-50 if he'll throw anything. I think Aldo can push the pace with him. I think if Chito takes this fight, he probably realizes that he needs to get his name back in, or this could be really bad. Because Chito's good, but I don't see him being a lot of contenders. I would pick him against Aldo, to be completely honest with you, I would. But I think we give Aldo a step up. because we're like, fuck it, he's a legend. He's done so much for the sport. And Cheeto needs to defend his rank, because you can't lose 2 times in a row badly. By the way, not the Figueiredo one wasn't as bad, but the Sean O'Malley one was. That fight should have never happened to begin with. But I think we give Aldo the jump up here. He's a legend. Fuck it. Who cares? Also, their schedules are kind of similar. If I believe I'm correct. I think Cheeto fought 2 months ago against Figueiredo. He didn't really take much damage. He probably got concussed. I think he did, actually. I don't believe he took much damage. Aldo didn't take much damage in this fight. He just got dry humped the whole time. He got dry humped. That's such a sad fight to watch. But they're on similar schedules, no damage. I'm sure they'll both take the fight because Cheeto is a pretty egotistical guy. He'll probably think, oh, Aldo's the easy win. I'll do it. He's a big name, and he thinks he's an easy win. Aldo is probably looking at it like, okay, this is a chance for me to reach the belt like I wanted to. It's a big name. If I win, I'll be number 6. I really think he'll take it. I think it's worth it. I know he's older, so he might be looking at retirement. But it's like I said for the Jared Cannonier fight. If he wins this, he still has it. He knows he still has it. He's confident in himself. If he loses, he'll probably retire and call it there for real this time. Number 3, for the reasons. It's Aldo. Like I said, who gives a fuck? It's Aldo. Like, he got dry humped. We're not going to treat him with this disrespect while we give Umar a title shot. We're not going to treat him with that disrespect. Let's put him against Vera, make up for our wrongdoings. Mostly Mario Batista's wrongdoings. Number 4, Cheeto's on a losing streak. I've always had this opinion. If you're on a losing streak, you got to defend your position against someone lower. If you don't, then you're just sitting on a position, and it's kind of, we can't get new blood in. That's what I like about Gaethje. Gaethje, if he lost, he would defend his ranking against Fiziev or Poirier. He lost to Gaethje. He defended it against Benoit Saint Denis. I like defending rankings. You gotta prove at their loss that you deserve to be where you are, and that you can still do it. So I think he has to defend his ranking. Aldo still ranked, so it's not that unbelievable. It's not that far-fetched. It's a big name fight. Fight night Brazil. Fight night anywhere, really. I've been waiting for this one. I saw a thumbnail to MMA Guru's video of Mario Batista versus Diddy Combs, which I actually think Diddy mentality. Real thing, Diddy mentality. Look it up. Anyway, Mario Batista versus Song Yadong is the fight I would make. Despite how much we hate Mario Batista, he deserves to jump up. He's been on a win streak. He's looked good. His striking was whatever against Aldo, but Aldo is a legend. Aldo's not just some can. Aldo's extremely good, but I just feel like he's a little older. But he's still extremely good. And it's a good win from Batista at the end of the day. I might hate him, you might hate him. It's still a good win, and that's just, it is what it is. But the reasons I want to see Song Yadong fight him, and I think Song Yadong's perfect for him, is this. Number 1, he needs to be flatlined. I need to see Mario Batista get knocked out. I don't care when it is. It could be when I'm 40. It could be when I'm 20. I need to see him get knocked out, flatlined. I don't care who. I don't care who. Just please, someone knock him out. I promise you. MMA Guru said he'll put $10K on it. I'll put 5 cents on it. I promise you. I agree with his cause. I'll put 5 cents on it. I really will. And I know some of you are probably thinking, oh, you don't gotta do that. Like, that's... You don't gotta put that much money in. It's all good. That's how much I believe in this. Hell, I'll put $1 in. I mean, I don't get paid, so you know, it is what it is. But number 2, close rankings. I'm pretty sure Batista probably went up to 9 if Dana White isn't, mad at him, which I know Dana White is mad at him, and I hope Dana White punishes him. But at the end of the day, it's like he's gonna go up to number 9. I think Song Yadong is number 7 or so. He just lost to Periera. Close fight, but Periera obviously won that. And that was a while ago too. That was 299, so I want to say 8 months ago. He hasn't fought in 8 months. February, I believe. No, March. Yeah, he hasn't fought in a while, actually. I want to see him here. I want to see him fight again. We haven't really heard anything about him. Yan was the one who came out injured that fight, tore like 3 different things. And he already has a fight booked next month. Song Yadong, I haven't heard shit about him. Like, I haven't actually heard shit about him. Maybe y'all have, and I'm just stupid. I want him to defend his ranking. He got to step up against Periera. He lost his chance. He beats Mario Batista. We'll talk about another step up. That's just how it works. That's how I like it. And reason number 3. Song Yadong has a good chance of knocking him out. Song Yadong has great boxing, great counter wrestling. That's something that, I didn't think I would have to say from Mario Batista. But considering that he dry humps people to death now, I mean, we need someone with decent counter wrestling. Song Yadong's not just going to let you hold him. He's going to be doing knees, uppercuts. He actually works in the clinch. He works all the time. And like I said, yeah, he has good boxing. Aldo was landing so many hooks on Batista. Aldo was rocking him. But I don't think Aldo has that much power still. Obviously, his power is still good. But I think compared to Song Yadong now, at least, Song Yadong has more. And Song Yadong, he's just... You can feel the effect when he fights. Like, you can feel the power. When he fought Chris Gutierrez, just pieced him up, you could feel the power. He knocked out Marlon Moraes, who hasn't, right? But it's a good fight to make. I think it could be a main card opener, I would say. And I'd be actually really excited. Because I could be like, okay, Mario Batista, he could either get flatlined, or it's just going to be a really good fight. Because I hope we don't see this out of Mario Batista in the future, but I actually do like watching Mario Batista fight, usually. Let's just hope that was a bad night, you know what I'm saying? And let's give Song Yadong a fight, because I don't know where the fuck he is. I really don't know where he is. Like, he's just gone. Now, I know also people have been saying, oh, Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree, rebook it. And at first I was like, yeah, I like that. Jamal Hill's, copium aside, he's still one of my favorite fighters to watch. I don't agree with it no more. Because I realized Yan has been talking the most shit, and he hasn't done shit in a year. Like, I like Yan. I love Yan. I loved his, I guess, title reign. I loved when he was champion. When he knocked out Dominic Reyes. I love Yan. This motherfucker hasn't fought in a year. Like, he hasn't fought in a year. But you see him on Twitter after every fight being like, oh, that shit was ass, bro. Unimpressed. Which I understand why. He thinks he beat Periera. I thought he beat Periera. That doesn't just warrant you a title shot, though. You still lost. So, I think we do Yan versus Rountree. Because at the end of the day, people's like, oh, Yan, he's a wrestler. He's going to take him down. I think Yan's a boxer more than he's a wrestler. I think he's just a very well-rounded guy. If he fights Khalil Rountree, this motherfucker, he might actually strike with him. This guy actually fought Periera on the feet. When he could have taken him down and controlled him like he did in that fight too. But in the 3rd round, he was like, oh, I'm just going to fight you, bro. He's got that retard mentality. I don't know if UFC's paying other people to fight, like, just actually strike with Alex Periera. I don't know if he just makes them retarded and that's their black magic. I don't know. But he's got that retard strength and mentality that I like in fighters. And just think about it. One of these guys are going to sleep. If you put him in a 5-round fight night main event, these motherfuckers are going to sleep. Because they both gas, and they both know, hey, I'm not going to be able to wrestle him to a decision. We're both going to gas. We're just going to knock each other out so we don't have to go to decision. You know what I'm saying? Also, another reason is I have other plans for Hill versus Jiri. I don't know why I said it like that. Like, I'm not the UFC or anything. I got no power, no control. I want to see Hill versus Jiri. I think it would be a good fight. And honest to God, what the fuck? Honest to God, man, it's like I think light heavyweight's at a tournament right now. Or have you ever seen a college football playoffs to where it's only one side? It's like you got this match, you got this match, you got this match, you got this match. How it's gonna be is, in my opinion, I want to see Hill versus Yuri, Volkan Uzumir versus Olberg, Jan versus Khalil. Oh, there was another one. Rakic versus Ankalaev. And if you know what a bye week is, it's like just basically being the number one. You don't have to fight the first one. I think Periera is going to be in that bye week where he has nothing to do right now. He has nothing to fulfill. I want to see a tournament like this. And I think that's how the light heavyweight division is going to go. And I want to see Hill versus Yuri. Hill and Yuri are like my favorite fighters. But I'm one of those guys where I don't give a fuck. I want to see one of them fight. Like, I want to see them fight. That's one of my dream fights. Because it's just conventional boxing versus the most unconventional boxing and kickboxing you've ever seen in your life. Also, Hill is still, in my opinion, top 3 light heavyweights. People are sleeping on Hill, saying Khalil Rountree would destroy him. Maybe, maybe not. I still think Jamal Hill is really good. Fact of the matter is, I still think he's really good. He's slept on just because he's coping a lot. But let's be honest. I mean, he lost to Alex Periera off of really just sitting on his ass for a year and a half. It happens. And he didn't have a bad first round either. I thought he was winning the first round until he got knocked out. So he's still good in my opinion. And my third reason, Khalil Rountree does not deserve a title eliminator. If you don't know what a title eliminator is, it's basically the fight before you get the title shot if you win. He does not deserve it. I love Khalil. He fought like a warrior. But I don't want to see rematches. I don't want to see Khalil win against Blachowicz and, oh, Khalil's fighting Alex Periera now. Like, I don't want to see that shit, bro. Again, I want to see fresh competition. Moving on to the main event. Tom Aspinall versus Alex Periera. And I know people are saying, oh, what about Ankalaev if he beats Rakic? I don't want to wait. I know Alex Periera said he's going to take some time off. And I know that the schedule is probably going to align with Ankalaev. If Ankalaev wins and takes no damage, they're probably going to schedule that after the break, and they're probably going to be on the same schedule and want to come back at the same time. But fuck all that, right? Like, who gives a fuck? Respectfully, Ankalaev doesn't deserve a title shot. If you think so, it's just I'm sorry to break to you. He does not. He beat Johnny Walker. We've seen what Johnny Walker just, he got flatlined by Uzdemir. If he beats Rakic just lost to Yuri. I don't want to see him. It's not the best fights to get a title shot off. Which, I mean, I respect it. If he does win, they give him a title shot, it's whatever. I respect it. But it's not the best fights to get a title shot off. And in my opinion, Alex Periera should take this fight in the meantime. Remember how I said, it's a bracket. And he has the bye week. He has like a fight where he just doesn't have to do anything. So I think for the filler of that, he should take on Tom Aspinall. And I'm only saying this because the legacy behind it, if they talk to him and be like, hey, you can be a 3-division champ. I know people are going to say, oh, it's only the interim. Why would he fight for the interim? John Jones is going to retire after he fights Stipe. That's just a fact. He will not fight Tom Aspinall. It will not happen. If he beats Tom Aspinall, or even if Tom Aspinall beats Periera, that belt, that interim belt, is going to be undisputed no matter what because John Jones is going to retire. Unless Alex Periera wins, I'm guessing. It's just, that's basically the real belt. This The John Jones Stipe is a filler fight. That doesn't matter. No one gives a fuck about that. It's a retarded fight. Dana White's gay. This is the real fight. This is the real belt. If he wins this, he gets the real belt, basically. So legacy's involved. He'll be the first champion ever. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm tweaking out, to have three belts. First champion ever to have 3 belts. That'd be insane. I really can't how much of a weight bully do you have to be a 3-division champ? I'm sorry. I know people are going to hate that opinion. Alex Pereira, he's a weight bully. It is what it is. But it's also, like I said, the light heavyweight build-up is the second reason. It's just a gauntlet. It's a bracket. It's a tournament that he just doesn't have to be a part of yet. He has time to where it's building up. You have 4 fights going on. Let the contenders build up. Let some fresh faces come in. And he can fight Tom Aspinall in the meantime. And even if he loses, he's going to come back down. He's going to have his belt still. And he's going to be like, you know what? I just lost to Tom Aspinall, but I'm still champion. Let's get it. Let's fight the newcomers. Let's fight anybody. He's still champion if he loses. So, it's really just a win-win. You fight him. I mean, if you lose, if you get knocked out, you've been knocked out before. I know it's not a good thing ever to get knocked out, but it's like, you've been knocked out before. And if you do get knocked out by Tom Aspinall has had the most dominant career ever yet. He's had the most dominant UFC career ever. Besides the Curtis Blades loss, that doesn't count really. He's had the most dominant UFC rise ever. You can argue anyone else. No one's came up like Tom Aspinall. He's probably the most dangerous man on the world right now. But number 3, Tom Aspinall needs a fight. Tom Aspinall is waiting for Saragon and Volkov. At first I was like, okay, because that would be this month. And then it got pushed back to December. I don't want to see him waiting that long. Because he fought in, I want to say June or July. I don't want to see him waiting that long. I don't think he should be out for what would be 10 months. When he's taken no damage. I know he's going to be the backup fighter for Stipe Jones. But if he doesn't fight, then what's the point? Besides he gets paid, obviously. He'll get paid a shit ton. It's just like, I want to see him fight. He'll be in that shape. I'm pretty sure Jones Stipe's in November. He'll be in fighting shape for that already. So you might as well be like, okay, he's in shape. He's ready to fight. Alex Pereira will be ready to fight really anytime. He's always ready to fight. You could do this really February or March. You really could. Ankalaev, I know he doesn't like fighting that much at all. Pray to God he doesn't become champion. You could really do this February or March and then do Periera Ankalaev later in the year. Or Periera versus anyone else, please. Please God, Periera versus anyone else. So I think you do this fight early in the year. They're both going to be ready. Tom Aspinall is training already for November. It just works. And the 4th reason, and the most important to me in my heart, is to pressure John Jones. I need to see John Jones get flatlined. More than Batista. I don't give a fuck about Batista. I need to see John Jones get flatlined once in his career. I'm not one of those people who are gay for him and be like, how could you hate this guy? He's done nothing wrong, but in all reality, you only support him because he's black and because you're gay. Yeah, find me on that. I don't give a fuck. You can find me on that shit. I need to see him get flatlined. He beat his kids. Or no, he didn't beat his kids. He beat his wife in front of his kids. He hit a random pregnant lady. And he's ended multiple people's careers. Literally just based off the fact that he's a PED cheat. And he knocked out DC in front of his family while being on PEDs. He's a horrible person. He's gay. That has nothing to do with him being a horrible person, but I mean, he's gay. I hate John Jones deeply. And maybe, just maybe, whoever wins this fight, they can pressure John Jones to end a fight because they're going to be like, oh, your interim champion has defended twice now and you refuse to fight him, or this guy's going to be the greatest of all time because he's about to get 3 belts. That's pretty fucking tempting for John Jones, and both these guys can knock him out. I will say, if Periera and Aspinall do fight, I'm going Aspinall. I think Aspinall will win that. I hope he wins that. Because if Periera wins, John Jones is just going to be like, okay, I'll fight Periera. And then he's going to take down Periera and submit him in a round. And I know people are like, oh, I want to see that fight. Who wouldn't want to see that fight? No, you're a retard. That fight would end in a round. John Jones. Why do people want John Jones to have a good ending? Why do they want him to have a good, successful end to his career? He's a horrible person. He's not fun to watch. I know damn well it's not fun to watch. That can't be the reason for y'all. That can't be. There's no reason to like him. And I pray to God Tom Aspinall chins him. But really, that's just the end of the video. I think I don't give a fuck about Ankalaev. I want to see Aspinall fight. I think a lot of y'all will agree with me. And I think I really made a strong case for why he should fight him. Like I said, this is like my 3rd time shooting this video. I'm fucking tired. I did a lot today. But yeah, I have a prediction video coming out later or tomorrow morning. So like and subscribe if you actually did enjoy the video. Yeah, I don't think I really have anything else to say. Oh, fuck, that's the screenshot shit. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say really. But as always, if you do like, subscribe, if you even support me a little bit, I always appreciate it.